The moment I heard that lock click from the outside, I already knew it wasn't one of my neighbors. Neighbors knock. Neighbors ring the doorbell. What I heard wasn't a knock. It was a key. Sliding in, turning. And the door to my home, the home my wife and I had saved for 7 years to buy, slowly swinging open. She had a master key. She had a plan. And she had absolutely no idea that the woman sitting 12 feet away was wearing a badge, a radio, and 14 years of law enforcement experience on her chest. If an HOA has ever made you feel like a prisoner inside your own home, you are in exactly the right place. Subscribe to HOA Shield right now, hit that bell, and don't move. Because what happened after that door opened is something you are going to want to see all the way through. My name is Derek, and my wife Camille and I bought our house in Cedar Brook Estates on a Tuesday in early spring. By that Friday, we had already received our first piece of mail from the HOA. Not a welcome letter, not a community directory. A 4-page document outlining every rule, every fine schedule, and every consequence for non-compliance, signed at the bottom by the HOA compliance director, a woman named Gloria Vance. I didn't think much of it at the time. Every HOA sends something like that. We'd read the CC and RS before we closed. We knew what we were getting into, or at least we thought we did. Gloria Vance was not simply an HOA compliance director. Gloria Vance was a person who had, over the course of 9 years in that role, constructed an entire identity out of the authority she believed that title gave her. She drove the neighborhood twice a day, morning and evening, in a silver sedan with a magnetic HOA compliance placard on the driver's side door that she removed and stored in her glove compartment whenever she left the community. I know that last detail because my next-door neighbor Gerald told me. Gerald had lived in Cedar Brook Estates for 11 years. He said 3 words to me when I first met him, the week we moved in. "Watch out for Gloria." I smiled and nodded. I thought he was exaggerating. 6 weeks later, I received my first violation notice. It was a formal printed document. Case number, our address, HOA letterhead, fine schedule attached. The stated violation was that the downspout on the left side of our garage was not color-matched to the siding. I looked at the downspout. It was the original downspout. It was the downspout that had been on the house when we purchased it. I walked the block and photographed 11 downspouts. Every single one of them was the same color as ours. I wrote a calm, professional email to the HOA management office. I attached all 11 photographs labeled with addresses. I explained that our downspout was original to the home and matched the existing community standard. I requested written clarification on which specific provision of the CC and RS we had violated. Gloria Vance responded in 4 sentences. She said the board retained interpretive authority over aesthetic compliance standards. She said the fine, $45, stood. She said failure to remediate within 30 days would result in an additional compounding fine of $25 per week. She did not acknowledge the photographs. Camille sat across from me that night and looked at the email chain. Camille is not a reactive person. She spent 14 years building that quality deliberately, because in her line of work, reaction without information gets people hurt. She read the whole chain, set her phone down, and said, "Derek, open a folder. Everything goes in, digital and physical, every single thing." I opened a folder. The second violation notice arrived 23 days later. This one cited our welcome mat. Our welcome mat, placed inside our covered porch flush against the front door, was, according to Gloria, a non-approved exterior accessory. The fine was $60. I sent another certified letter disputing it, citing the exact CC&R provision she had referenced, noting that the provision applied to unenclosed exterior spaces and that our covered porch did not meet that definition. I attached photographs. I attached a printed copy of the provision with the relevant language highlighted. Gloria denied the dispute in writing. She added a $15 processing fee for the dispute itself. That sentence, a $15 processing fee for the dispute itself, was the first moment I understood that this was not about downspouts. This was not about welcome mats. This was about the fact that I had pushed back, and Gloria Vance had decided from that moment forward that I was a problem to be managed. Over the next 4 months, the violations escalated in a pattern that I can only describe as methodical. A $30 fine for a recycling bin left at the curb 40 minutes past the approved retrieval window. A $50 fine because our window blinds, visible from the street, were not uniform in angle. A $90 fine, this one arrived by certified mail, for what Gloria described as an unauthorized modification to the exterior of the property. The modification? Camille had placed 2 small potted plants on the porch steps. The total outstanding balance reached $870. A formal letter from the HOA's management company informed us that if the balance was not satisfied within 45 days, a lien would be initiated against the property. I contacted a real estate attorney named Howard. Howard had been practicing property law for 22 years and specialized in HOA disputes. He reviewed every document in my folder, which by this point was substantial, and he used a phrase I hadn't heard before: procedural bad faith. He said the pattern of fine issuance, denial of properly documented disputes, and the addition of a processing fee for exercising a CC&R guaranteed right were all indicators of selective and retaliatory enforcement. He drafted a formal demand letter to the HOA management company. The letter cited 4 specific CC&R violations in Gloria's enforcement actions, violations committed by the HOA against us, and formally placed the management company on notice of potential litigation. The fines were placed on administrative hold within a week. Gloria did not respond well to losing her paper leverage. The surveillance became overt. She parked on our street, not moving, not writing anything down, not even pretending to have another reason to be there, just parked, watching. I photographed it every time: date, time, duration, plate number. Into the folder. Then she started knocking on the doors of our immediate neighbors. I know this because 3 of them told me. She was asking whether they had observed any violations at our property, whether our guests parked improperly, whether we had made any changes to the exterior. She was building something. I didn't know what yet. The morning it happened, Camille had come off a double shift. She walked in the door at 7:40 a.m., ate something standing at the kitchen counter, and then sat down on the living room couch, still in full uniform. She had a briefing at the precinct at 11 o'clock. She had 2 hours. She was reading something on her tablet, badge catching the morning light from the window. I was at my desk in the back bedroom on a work call. The call had been going for maybe 25 minutes. At 9:12 a.m., I know the exact time because my laptop clock was visible when it happened, I heard the front door. Not a knock, not the bell. The door. The handle shifted. The door moved, and then Camille's voice from the living room. Not raised, not alarmed. Flat and absolute. Stop. Don't take another step. I was out of my chair before I knew I'd stood up. I came around the corner, and I saw her. Gloria Vance, standing in our open doorway, 1 foot over the threshold, a brass master key in her right hand. Her body frozen, as though every signal her nervous system was sending had simultaneously stopped working. In front of her, Camille. not having moved from where she sat. Upright, badge visible, radio visible. 14 years of knowing exactly what to say and exactly how to say it, visible in every syllable of what came next. You are standing inside a private residence. You did not knock. You were not invited. You have no legal authority to be here. Step back outside. Now. Gloria opened her mouth. She said something about an inspection. She said something about the property management company. She said the word authorized twice. She was backing up as she spoke, slowly, the way people back up when they realize they have made an error they cannot walk back. Camille stood up. Not quickly, not aggressively. She just stood up. And somehow that was enough. I had my phone in my hand. I photographed Gloria in the doorway, master key still visible in her hand, before she fully retreated. Into the folder. I texted Howard before I'd even closed the front door. His response came back in 6 minutes. Preserve everything. Photograph the key if possible. I'm drafting a preservation letter to the management company today. Gloria had called the non-emergency police line approximately 8 minutes before she used the key. I found this out from the responding officer, a calm, professional woman named Officer Reyes, who arrived at our door 40 minutes after the incident. Officer Reyes explained that she was responding to a report of a possibly distressed or unoccupied property. Camille had changed into civilian clothes by then. She met Officer Reyes at the door, badge in hand, and identified herself by rank and badge number. She explained exactly what had occurred. Officer Reyes listened to all of it without interrupting. Then she asked Camille one question. Did she identify herself and request entry before using the key? Camille said, no. Officer Reyes took a full report. Howard filed a civil complaint against the property management company within 48 hours. The complaint cited unauthorized facilitation of entry into a private residence, failure to follow established tenant notification protocols, and complicity in a documented pattern of retaliatory enforcement. He attached the complete timeline from my folder. Every notice, every certified letter, every photograph, every dated surveillance log, and the photograph I'd taken of Gloria in our doorway with the key in her hand. The property management company's written response arrived in 5 days. They acknowledged, in writing, that key authorization procedures had not been followed. They confirmed that Gloria Vance's access to the master key system had been revoked immediately. They confirmed that all outstanding fines, all $870, were hereby waived and removed from our account. In writing, signed. The HOA board held a special session the following week. The vote to remove Gloria Vance from the compliance director position was 4-1. 9 years. 4-1. We kept the welcome mat. We have never replaced the downspout. Our recycling bin goes to the curb every single collection morning. Camille said it best, about 2 weeks after everything was resolved. We were sitting on the porch with the potted plants still on the steps, right where she put them. And she said, the whole time she thought the key was her power. She never understood that the paper was ours. So I want to know, what would you have done? If you heard that lock turning and someone stepped into your home with a master key, would you have paid every fine and let it go? Or would you have built the paper trail, called the attorney, and fought every single inch the way we did? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear your story. If you know someone dealing with an HOA right now, share this video with them, because documentation is the only weapon that works every time. Like this video, subscribe to HOA Shield, and hit that bell. Justice doesn't always come fast, but when you build it on paper, it always comes.